What's going on, y'all? Braden here. Hope y'all are having a great day today. So today I want to talk about a very important question. This especially applies if you're just getting into e-commerce, just trying to start your first dropshipping business, but it can even apply if you've been doing this for a while. And this is a question I get asked at least on a weekly basis, sometimes even on a daily basis, and that's how much money do you actually need to become successful with dropshipping? Not just to get started, but actually make this business work for you to where you can live, the lifestyle of your dreams, whether that's buying a Lamborghini, whether that's traveling the world, living where you want, having the lifestyle you want. It's how to actually do that. So this is going to come from my experience in the space from the last 2 years. So my own personal experience is going to come from what I've seen with tons and tons of my students over the last 2 years, and then many friends I've got that have very successful dropshipping businesses, what it actually took for them to become profitable and then scale and become successful with this. So it's very popular in the YouTube dropshipping community to say that you can get started with Shopify dropshipping for almost no money. And technically, yes, you can build an e-commerce Shopify store with almost no money. Yes, you need the money to go ahead and actually create your Shopify store, which is very little money, and then you need to go ahead and actually create the branding material. So, get the logo, get your domain, everything that goes into that. But all in all, to actually get your brand set up, it shouldn't take that long and it shouldn't take that much money. But we're talking specifically here how much it takes to actually advertise the products and actually see if what you've got on your store actually works. So yes, you can technically do it with very little money. You can technically do it with almost just the money you've spent creating your brand, but that's if you're willing to spend a lot of time building up the search engine optimization, the SEO. This can be done through a blog, this can be done through other methods. If you're willing to go ahead and take that time and basically put in the sweat equity, you can make that work. But I've seen this work out very rarely compared to the people that are actually willing to put some money to this. So when we're actually talking about the marketing of this and how much money you need for marketing, I always recommend the range between $300 and $1,500 spent. Now, the reason I give this range is because I've seen it happen with less than that, and I've seen it take a lot more money than that. This is kind of the average. The way I've come up with this number and the spectrum I've got for this is I've seen people that come into this space and they do immense levels of research, or they've taken a very, very solid course that they're really following to a T, and they're able to go ahead and essentially build up the foundation. They really take the time building their brand, building up that foundation, doing the proper niche research, the proper product research, which is something that I see a lot of people lacking on these days. They'll actually take the time to do that, so then when they start spending the money on the marketing, they've got everything in place for them to start profiting very, very, very quickly. And then on the flip side, I've seen some people get into this and for whatever reason, they need a little bit more time and they need more money put into it for them to figure it out. And this is a lot of times people that aren't following a good plan, or they might be brand new to business, don't really understand how things work. They might spend, $1,000, $1,500. I've seen people spend thousands of dollars before they become very profitable with this. So one thing I can tell you is if you're just now getting into the space and you're wanting to create a dropshipping store to, change your lifestyle, have the kind of lifestyle of your dreams, go ahead and expect that you're not going to spend all this money all at once. Now, I know that many of you getting into this space, you're wanting to change your lifestyle. You might want to buy a Lamborghini, you might want to travel the world, whatever it is. You want to change your lifestyle, but you might have a job that doesn't pay very much money, you don't have very much money left over, or you might be a student, whatever reason, you might not have a lot of money to put towards this. You can definitely make this happen. And I've seen this happen to where people literally change their lives with very little money. But you're gonna spend money over time. So you might spend $100 the first week marketing, and you might have sales come in from that. So you're gonna be getting money back into it. So when I say $1,500 spent, it's $1,500 spent to become profitable, not to get your first sale. It should absolutely not take $1,500 to get your first sale. If you're taking, past $500 spent to get your first sale, you really need to reevaluate what you've been doing, because there's definitely holes in your funnel, or holes with your product and niche research, whatever. You should be getting sales much sooner than that. And when I got started with Shopify Dropshipping, in the very beginning, I didn't know what I was doing, and I had sales coming in almost immediately. Now, was I profitable? Absolutely not. It took anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 spent for me to become profitable, and that was with me having done Amazon FBA, with me taking dropshipping courses. It took that amount to become profitable, and then once it became profitable, scaled it up very quickly. But over that period of time, I was still having sales mitigate all that money going out. So just know that, when I recommend, and this is just my recommendation, when I recommend you start with at least 300 in your pocket right now that you can put towards this, up to or even more than 1,500, that's not saying you're gonna spend all of that amount right off the bat, right out of the gate. You're gonna spend that over time with sales still coming in to mitigate that, and that'll help. But just know, guys, that with whatever you've got, whatever your budget is to go ahead and get started with this, don't go ahead and rush, because I've seen so many people get into the space that now have done nothing with it, because they get in and they rush the foundation, they rush building up their brand, they don't build up that solid foundation and do the niche and product research, and then they rush with spending their money they've got for the actual marketing, to the point that then they're not able to continue anymore, because they just run out before they even get a sale. And if you guys go ahead and you actually take the time to build up the foundation, do the research, actually learn what it takes to have a successful business, you won't need to spend as much money. And that's one of the big reasons, guys, that I talk so much about building the foundation, building the brand, because most of the people I've seen that are successful with this are taking that extra step in the beginning so that they're not having to spend more money when it comes to marketing. You're not gonna have to spend as much money to figure out how to increase your conversion rate. You're still gonna wanna do that, but you'll be able to, you'll already have that in place, to where all you have to do really is find out what products work. And if you've got the marketing knowledge, then you can definitely make that happen. You're gonna have to put money to advertising to figure it out. It is one of the, I was talking to a Facebook ads expert just last night, and we're talking about how he deals with agencies on a daily basis that come to him, and he even said to them that, it's a thing that you have to kind of put money to it to just figure out what works. There's definitely certain practices in place that you should be doing and what Facebook recommends, but all in all, you're going to have to put money to the marketing to figure out what works for your brand, for your niche, and for your products. But don't rush, guys. If you don't rush in the beginning, then you guys can definitely get started with a lower amount of money, and then when you actually are spending that money, you should have at least some sales. Until you're profitable, you should have some sales coming in to mitigate that actual ad spend, and then you'll become profitable, and then you can scale it up. But I just want to bring you this quick video today, guys. It's a weekend right now, just been relaxing with my wife. We've been having a beautiful day out here in Austin, Texas, and this is a question I've been getting a lot recently with people wanting to start their e-commerce business going into 2019, and that's what I recommend. I recommend starting with at least $300 to $1,500. You have that set aside for marketing, and you actually take the time, build up the foundation, and then spend wisely. Spend that money very wisely, and don't just go ahead and throw it out there. But that's the beautiful thing with dropshipping, is we don't hold inventory. So really the bulk of what you're gonna be spending is all for the marketing and the advertising itself. So, if you've got that little bit of money set aside, you guys can make this work. This isn't something like Amazon FBA where you have to go, find a product that you're pretty sure is gonna work, buy the inventory, wait for it to get in, and now you've got, that inventory that you're trying to sell and hoping it sells. With dropshipping, is you build up the foundation with building up your store and then you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna test those products. And if you've got $300 to $1,500 set aside for that, and you're following a very, very solid advertising plan, whether that be Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram influencers, whatever you want to use, if you know what you're doing with that, or you at least have a good idea, you can get in and you can make this work. And this is what I've seen with so many people over the last 2 years, is that it takes anywhere in that range. Now, I've seen people get in and they literally, I've seen someone come in and get profitable in under $100 spent with ads, but he had really built up the brand. He took time building up that foundation. And then on the flip side, I've seen so many people spend thousands and thousands of dollars and never get anywhere, but they literally didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't take the time to invest in themselves, whether that be buying a course, whether that be spending immense levels of research to figure out how to actually do the branding, the marketing, everything that goes into it. The whole point is here, guys, if you've got $300 to $1,500 spent and you're committed to make this work, you can absolutely make this work. So go into this week you know, kind of encouraged, and go into this week looking at where you guys can go ahead and you know, level up, whether that's be leveling up with your research, leveling up with investing yourself, whatever it is. And you guys can do it. Let's go into 2019 strong, guys. We're gonna kill it. But if you could, please go ahead and leave me a like on this. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below. I'd love to go ahead and connect with you guys. But keep grinding, y'all, and I'll see you in the next video.